welcome to Donnie Jones Live. I am your certified arborist, Donnie the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly. Just a disclaimer, during this show, please turn your phone off or put it on vibrate. You know, we only have a little bit of time to communicate with people.
First of all,
you know, like they say in church, if it ain't Jesus calling, you just tell him you're calling back, or just one of those things. We're doing a show today.
And
Donnie, how was your week going?
My week is
you just
has
put
been
the
going
phone
very, very well.
down.
It's been
Trying
awesome.
to talk and text. If
but
you can't drive
they
and
can cut
text,
that
you
out.
really can't drive talk and text either. You know, you stuck on that one word.
Marty, it's been an absolutely great week.
Okay.
It's like I'm watching this. This is our theme. It's my theme for like the longest time. I am watching this weight come off. I'm watching my energy come up. I'm watching it affect every area, and I mean every area of my life in a positive way.
Okay,
So
look,
I'm
this is a
feeling
family
good.
show too this week, okay?
I know you can't talk.
I'm just saying. I know the last show you was talking about your husband. As soon as church was over, was like, I gotta go. I'm understanding why now. Y'all go to that early service too? Like, hey, we gotta go.
I actually go to the second service. You know I ain't getting up
so
early.
you can't go into the first service?
That's right. I'm busy on first service.
Y'all just nasty.
So anyway, as you just said, this was a family
this
show.
is please introduce our guest today.
Yes.
Phenomenal woman.
Yes, she is. She's a phenomenal woman. She is a artist. She is a writer. She is a producer. She's an all-around triple threat.
Yes.
Yes, she was. And she's been in the industry for a long time. And many of you may know her from her amazing play that she just finished wrapping up. And she's going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm talking about the incomparable Tawanda Kilpatrick.
Yeah.
Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Marty.
Yes.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Awesome.
And all the hair. I love that thing.
You know.
That's a true diva
Yes.
doing her thing.
Oh, no,
Yes.
no diva here.
No.
Because we got a secret coming up about you.
Yes, we
So.
do. We do have a secret.
Now, y'all been teasing that before the show started, so I'm really curious about this secret that you and her got together. But anyway, before we get there, what's the latest news on you?
Well, the latest news is I am in the process of authoring and publishing a book called Unselfish Women.
Yes.
Which is a coffee table book that's going to feature 100 women from all over the U.S.
Unselfish women.
Unselfish women.
Women that's doing unselfish acts in the community.
Oh, in the community. Oh, never mind. I was.
Oh my,
just-
Marty.
No, y'all see y'all mind going somewhere else. I was thinking of unselfish women because I need somebody to cook for me sometimes and clean
Marty.
the house. I thought y'all was just trying to get them activities to do.
that's another book.
These
That's a
are
different book.
powerhouse women that are making a difference and making a way where there was no way. We talking about boss ladies, baby.
So,
Yes.
what inspired you to write this book then? Just
Well,
curious.
this book was actually something that was given to me probably 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
it was a book and it was women. And I thought, well, you know what? I got all this other stuff that I'm doing. So I'll just kind of put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
And then last year, December the 2nd, I got really sick and I went to the hospital and I didn't think I was going to make it. But God said that, you know what? I'm going to give you a second chance. I got a plan. And so during that time in the hospital, the vision came and he said, it's time for you to do some of the other things that I gave you to do. So it was January the 2nd. I said, okay, it's time to do it. I'm going to get it together and do it. And I love being around women. I love seeing women doing awesome
Yes.
things.
Me too.
And,
I love being around women too.
I bet you
I
do.
love seeing them do
Marty.
awesome things. I do. I'm saying.
Marty,
I'm just agreeing with
she
you.
said this is a family show.
It is.
Yeah, this is a totally family show. At least
See,
it's a okay.
Y'all mind is
This
going
might be
wrong.
the episode that ain't family.
Y'all mind I'm agreeing with you.
Well,
I'm
okay,
just
you
saying, yes.
love women.
Yes.
I love women that's doing awesome
Yes.
things
And
in
I
the
love-
community that's
Right.
making a difference.
Yes.
So that's what this book is about. And
Good.
women were nominated by other women. Me and my editor, Gloria, my co-creator, we came together and I said, we want to get women here in Atlanta. And first we started out just in Atlanta. And then we started getting stuff from, Texas, Arkansas, California.
Yeah.
So in the book right now, we have 100 women. 49 of them are from Georgia,
Yes.
and the other ones are from everywhere else.
Okay, so what was the criteria of you selecting these women? I'm saying, did they have to I don't know. Well, you said you wasn't taking money.
No.
So I'm saying that they have to have like 5 kids and struggling, you know, or what was the...
They may have just had to have 2 kids and trying to do something good in the world.
And had a tree company, and they were doing unselfish things in the community that's making a difference.
Legally, right?
Legally.
Okay.
This time.
Okay. This time.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what the other book. The 100
legally.
illegal, the way to make money.
So Doni is one of the unselfish women.
Are you serious?
Thank you.
You know, when I met her and I saw all of the stuff that she was doing, and we sent her the email, and I says, well, you know, she hadn't responded back, so I hope that she got it. So I don't know what you said when you got the email.
I was saying I was honored. I did respond back, but I was late responding.
Well, I think it was the lateness, and so we thought like maybe
I thought it was a bill. No, I'm just kidding. No, let me tell you what happens, because I love helping people in the community, and I really feel like God has put it on my heart to be able to use my talent and resources to help people, you know, either get a leg up or to sow into somebody's life. You know what I mean? I'm hurting him. So, but a lot of times I do get requests for things that look like it's to do something good for the community, but it's actually, you know, somebody doing something that's only good for themselves.
Right.
And so, and I didn't see your name on it at first. I don't know. And then when I saw it was from you, I was like, wait a minute, let me respond to this.
Right.
And so when I opened it up, I was like, I actually teared up a little bit.
Aww.
Because I don't do what I do to get recognition. I do what I do because it's in here, you know? And I also feel like, you know, people always say, well, you know, I'm a self-made woman and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a boss and all that. But I really believe that somewhere in everyone's life, somebody helped them.
Yes.
Even if it was just a word of encouragement, or your first job, or your first, you know, opportunity with a speaking engagement, somebody opened the door. And so I feel like, in a way, I use my life and our platform to be able to do that for other people. So for somebody to recognize that, you kind of got my heart.
And we did. And we listened
thank
to
you.
you. We watched you. We researched. We watched your videos. And I says, man, Doni is really, really awesome. We wanted you to be a part of this.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I feel like you're awesome. In fact, not just feel like, I know you're awesome. And the way we met is so surreal. And actually, in our next segment, we're going to get a little bit into that. But tell us a little bit more about Unselfish Women, because it is powerful what you're doing.
So not to give it all away.
Yeah, we don't want to give it all away.
And some, but you know, Doni is one of the women here in Atlanta that's in the book. I'm gonna list another person is Mayor Butler from Forest Park. She's in the book. She actually just got nominated at the end. She made our 100 woman to be nominated. Yes, and she was so excited. So she came out and got her pictures done on Saturday, so we were really excited. We have pastor from Memphis, just a lot. I'm not trying to give up too
You
many.
should be in there.
Right. That's what I was going to ask.
Are you in there?
Right.
Well, you know, I'm the creator and author of it.
But you're
so.
Right, you gotta
Amazing.
have. I'm saying out of 100 of them, you got to be maybe like number 10, 15, something like that.
you're
You
number
know,
one for
just
seeing
just putting it all
Having the
together
vision.
and telling the story. But it's a lot to the book. It's not just their story and their pictures. It's a lot, and I think the women are really going to be surprised when they meet the other women that's in the book.
So you're going to
when
do
we
like a big kickoff?
Yes.
And, okay.
Here in Atlanta, we're going to unveil in Atlanta.
You're going to invite 100 men too,
We
right?
got 100 men
Okay,
will be
just
invited.
All right, just want to
Yes,
make sure.
absolutely.
But maybe just like
And tell
75.
us when that kickoff is, because that was one of the reasons why I wanted you to come on the show, is because, for one, what you're doing is powerful.
We're pending
And-
for November.
Okay.
We can't announce the date yet until we actually get our markup back.
Gotcha.
And then we will also announce who the speaker is going to be. I'm really, really excited. I can't wait to announce the speaker.
They
So,
didn't email you back. I said I was going to do it.
it's,
I know I got
it's
an
the
email,
one-
and it took me a minute to go through my
I'm
emails
sorry.
and stuff.
You know
but
what? It was Marty. Oh.
You spelled it with a D, probably.
I did. That's what happened.
It would have went through. That was the right
That's
way of
what
spelling
happened. That's okay. When we do the Unselfish Men,
Yes,
we'll see
please.
if
That's what we
will
did.
see if Doni will nominate you.
I will nominate. I'm gonna tell you right now.
yeah.
But I don't know my husband. I would like my husband to be, but we'll
You nominate both
No,
of us.
but-
Yeah, just nominate both
All
of
right,
us.
you nominate your husband, and
I know. I'm gonna nominate
Yes.
Marty. No, because you know what he does in the community is amazing.
Yes.
Also, he has an outreach that he does once a month in the community where he pretty much sets his church up to be an open house to the people that are unchurched.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he provides food. He provides, more like hors d'oeuvres, but he also provides what Jesus really drank was real wine. Yeah.
Wow.
Look any which way to get him there.
That's right.
And it's free too.
That's right. And it's free to
We take
That's
communion. I don't
amazing.
say I'm giving away free wine. We have communion
That's what you call
at
it.
my
Okay.
church on Wednesday.
That's-
once a month.
At church, they give us grape.
That's
No,
what I'm going
okay.
to say. No, we go that real. We got
his-
Jiffy cornbread and cognac. Yep. First Sunday, that's what we do. I'm just saying, we come with that real spirit.
I know. Y'all about to get some new members.
There you go. Exactly. But Tawanda, how do we get in contact with you if we want to find out more about the book or if we want to just find out more about you? How do people get in contact with you?
Tawanda@tawanda.com is my email address, and Tawanda@tawanda.com is my email address, and Tawanda.com.
Now, is there
my
any kind of
website.
special way you spell Tawanda? Just a regular?
I didn't want to go there.
Okay,
Because
I
y'all know this community. It'd be the number 2 and then W just so.
And what about your Instagram?
Gosh, you know what? I am so bad on the Instagram. That's why my daughter is my social media person. Unselfish women. I don't know what is it.
When we
Just
come
spell
back,
your name.
you know what? When we come back, we'll talk about that. But let's get Tawanda in there. Let's spell that name. We will when we come back.
Just spell your name real quick.
Tawanda, TOWONDA.
TOW. Okay.
ONDA.
That's right. So
Yeah.
Tawanda@tawanda.com.
Yeah.
All right, I love it.
You're listening to Donnie Jones Live. I'm Marty McFly.
And I'm Doni the Tree Lady, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly, who's going to start working my voice and my acting skills and everything. Because you do plays and all that stuff. Because last time
And
you was
movies.
here. And movies, too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my face together, too, then. I'm trying to do it. So,
Absolutely.
you know what? I know you're going to talk about it because you just had one not too long ago.
And
Production
wait a minute,
and
for
everything.
those of you that are just tuning in, we are talking to Tawanda Kilpatrick.
Yes.
Yes.
She's a playwright. Well, she wear a lot of hats. But what I'm trying to get into right now is your next production, like a next play, a next movie. And how do you go about even thinking that up? Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're moving from the book to the play that I did, Dignity, that was on mental illness.
Dignity. Yeah.
So that play, it's in the process of being a movie. I wrote the movie script. So we will be doing a table reading and auditioning for that. And it's this one has men in it.
Hey, see?
So, and it's still
Showing us some
it's
love.
still about mental illness in the community. I'm very, very excited with the direction that the movie is going to go.
Okay.
It's something definitely different for me, but I'm really, really excited about it. So I will make sure that you get an email so you can come to the casting.
Right.
Yes.
Now, we got witnesses in here that you really going to send me an email.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's already done.
Okay.
Marty,
You the sister in here too. I want to make sure they're writing this down. And my name is Marty, MARDY.
MARDY, that's right.
Ringer, RINGER @gmail.com. I want to make sure you got.
Got you.
Wait, she ain't writing nothing down.
She got you.
Oh, okay. Just want,
she's sharp.
Marty,
I don't
it's
want
on
them to forget
camera.
me.
It's
That's
being
true.
recorded, babe.
I know. I just want because see, people leave me out all the time. You
They
know,
do.
I wasn't in the Unselfish
Tawanda,
Woman book.
That's a slight on me. I didn't leave it out, but I thought that we weren't supposed to talk about it. So that's why. But now we're talking about it.
Now we're talking about it.
She
We
just
just not
didn't tell
giving
me.
up everything.
Told a couple of people. She just didn't tell me, and I thought we were cool. But
Well, let's get to know Tawanda a little
Right.
bit better. Tell us where you're from, Tawanda, and how you became this creative that you are. Because not everybody is out there producing plays,
Right.
making movies, writing books.
and if they are, it ain't good.
No,
You know, I'm just saying, there's some people that's writing some bad plays, writing some old bad books. You know, they ain't got no information, and they got only like 4 pages. I'm just saying, you know, but you're doing a great work. So,
Well, thank you.
where
Thank you.
do you
Thank
get
you.
your inspiration from?
From people.
Mm.
From people. Listening to people. Everybody has a story, and it's just all in how it's being told.
right.
True.
And so you meet people, you hear their stories, and you have your own stories, of course, and I have lots of them. And I like to put stuff down on paper. And the beauty is to put it down on paper and then to hear people bring it to life. That is so amazing.
Absolutely.
But the difference is I like to do things that's going to make a difference, not just entertainment. There's enough entertainment to entertain us for the rest of our lives.
That's right.
I want to write stories that's going to make a difference, that's going to help, that's going to teach, that's going to add to what's happening out here in the world.
Right.
So that's kind of how Dignity came about with the mental illness, that one. And then to do it as a movie and the way that I wrote it from the play to the movie, which, you know, a movie is a little bit different. You can add a little bit more to it. I think it's definitely going to touch a lot of people with where they are right now.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Men, women, and children. It's going to touch everybody right now. Because what I did is I got right where we are right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot happening right now in the community.
And I will say it speaks to people, you know, consciously and unconsciously. Because, you know, I remember the trailer that you had, you know, playing that a few times for different people saying, see, that's you. You crazy. You got some issues that you need to go to this play because that sound like you.
Right.
You know,
and somebody asked me, was I going to bring the version of the men back and were you going to be in it?
Hey, I could do that.
There you go.
I can do that because I know I'm bipolar. I got different people in my head. 1 minute I'm cussing somebody out, the phone ringing, it's like,
and the next minute you praying for
people. Right.
Just this in that case, all the hats that ministers, but I would love to be in there.
All right.
But Tawanda, what made you focus in on mental health? Because obviously that is a big issue right now. Is it something that in your family or you or if you want to get into that was touched with? Because obviously it's something that people are uncomfortable talking about, but you talk about it in a big way.
You know, when you have a lot of people around you, you get stories from everywhere. Yeah. And being able to be a confidant to a lot of different people. Yeah. But then there's a time when you're supposed to hear and when I'm supposed to do something with this. Yeah. Wow. So that's kind of what happened, how Dignity came. It was friends around me, people around me, and talking to people. And I was like, okay, I'm not supposed to just sit on this. I'm supposed to do something with this, but do it in a way that it's going to make a difference. So that's kind of how, you know, that piece came to life.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing to me. And this is all joking aside where, now, I know you said the book was sparked from this, but it's amazing when God sits you down is when he communicates to you the most and some of the biggest things come out of you. You know, when you're just laying in that bed. You know, I always like to say, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He make me lie down. And then stop right there.
Oh,
you know,
that's so good.
Because like you said, back in December, you was in the hospital.
December the 2nd.
December the 2nd. Yes. And that's when these next ideas start coming.
Right.
And it's like another thing that's blessing so many other people about the story because I know reading somebody else's story, you know, I believe that you can learn from your mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes.
Absolutely.
And having a book of like 100 different women and their stories, I know it's going to touch somebody. And even in the plays of saying the mental things, because in our community we play about it,
we don't talk about it,
but we don't really talk seriously about it, and we don't confront. You know, we just say she's special, or you know that's your Aunt May. You know, but really understanding that this is because I got people in my church right now that I can look at and say, you haven't been diagnosed yet, but you touched, you know, and you know, so I think really what you're doing is you're touching people directly, indirectly, but God has favor for you.
Yes, he does.
Take it.
Yes, he does.
Take it.
Yes,
I wanted to share that during that time when I was in the hospital and I think Emory Hospital, that
do you
one
mind
floor,
telling us what you were in the hospital for?
I went to the hospital the day after I had did my women's holiday brunch. And it was 50 women. They came to that and I got that together and I just like collapsed. And so I'm thinking like, oh, you know, maybe my iron is low. Yeah. And didn't think nothing of it. The next day I did again and I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. So they called 911. They came and got me and I was like, oh, I'm really going to the hospital. Oh, wow. I was really scared. And I just, so I sit in the back and I was like, okay, this is really serious. Yeah. So then I get there and they ran tests and they says, you have blood clots in your lungs.
No.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
And I just started crying. I was texting, and probably within an hour, about 20 girlfriends are there. My prayer team was there. They were praying for me. And they said, we got to keep you in here for 3 days. And I thought, for 3 days, I got all this stuff to do.
Yeah.
And God said, I got you.
Yes.
But you got some things that I need for you to do when you get out. So during that time, I had people staying with me this night, but that one night, it was the night before I was supposed to get out. And I said, you know what, guys, I just want this night to myself. And that's when I got all of this revelation.
Right.
And I knew when I left and I walked out that everything was okay.
Won't he do it?
Yes, he will. But you know what? You just said something also about when God makes you lie down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you stop right there. Because I do feel like, even going back to my own story with my daughter was born preemie. And I had to stay in the hospital for 35 days. My membrane had ruptured prematurely. And I thought, you know, obviously I'm a kind of on-the-go person. So for me to be laying there for 35 days, I thought I was going to go crazy. And in fact, maybe I did go crazy. But I really believe that, you know, I don't believe God made that happen, but I think he allowed it to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of the thinking that I did to put us in the position where we are today started there. That little bubble started 15 years ago with me going, I've got to change some things in my life.
Yeah.
Because I always thought it was me. I can do this, I can handle it. Well, I had to rely on other people.
Right.
I had to look at a different way of doing things. And if I wouldn't have been stopped at that moment,
kept going.
I would have kept going down the wrong direction.
He does that. I'm saying he does that with everybody. I'm saying my recent hospital stay, I'm saying I had hemorrhoids, and I had, called all my family. They came in and put their hand on my booty. And
oh my God, Marty, that is
and it just opened up so many different things that, I wanted to do in life, but I had my prayer soldiers there. They just all laid hands on my booty and just, a couple of days later,
you were healed.
I was healed, and I couldn't sit for a while, but I was healed. But, God has a way of just getting
Praise
your attention.
God.
I was saying this at praise
Marty
God.
did not have nobody laying hands on his booty.
So when you got him, you want to.
Oh my gosh,
again,
Marty.
if somebody wants to get the book, how do they get in contact with you?
Unselfish Women.
Yes.
Yes.
So we know that.
Just a book.
Unselfish Women is the Instagram, and also unselfishwomen.com is the website.
Yes.
On the website is just information about the book. That's where we will announce the luncheon that will be here in Atlanta and who the speaker is going to be, which is so amazing. It's just like I wanted to tell it so bad, but I can't tell it yet.
Okay.
And all of the women that's in it, we got doctors, lawyers,
and you
tree carriers.
Yes.
What is that word that you
I'm a
be using?
certified arborist. I am a certified
I was
arborist.
not going to try to do that.
I'm seriously, people still trying to. What is an arborist in it? But yeah,
it is somebody that takes care of trees and is educated in arboriculture.
You know what?
Meaning
I have been dealing with people that are certified in working with trees all my life, but they never knew that they were arborists. They just call them drug dealers. But you call them arborists.
Okay, those are different types of trees.
Those are different type of trees.
Exactly.
Good tree.
Oh my goodness, guys, you're listening to Donnie Jones Live. I'm Donnie the Tree Lady,
and I am that guy, Marty McFly.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Donnie Jones Live. I am your certified arborist, Donnie the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly.
And we are here with the wonderful Tawanda Kilpatrick. Yes, talking about her play, Dignity, that she just wrapped up. Her book, Unselfish Women, which I do have the honor of being in, which I'm just floored about that. But what's going on with you? What's new for you? What's up and coming aside from the book?
Well, after the book and the movie, a project that I created this project 5 years ago.
Okay.
It's called Yellow Cry, and it's on human trafficking.
Okay.
What would you do if asked to kidnap your neighbor's child to save your own? What would you do, Don?
I'd kidnap that little thing.
No, I would not kidnap that. I would not. I would not. Do it. I would find a way.
You would find a way.
I would find a way to can go to the authorities or.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the TV series is not written like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about that choice that you have to make. You have to make that choice.
But people have to make that choice on a daily basis, though.
That's
a real thing.
Yeah.
That is a real thing.
You know, certain things you if you put in those kind of situations, which that's a great mind, you know, I don't really know what I would do, but I would always think that I would go with the safety of my child first.
Yeah. Oh, well, you definitely go with the safety of your child.
Right.
But Tawanda, is there a way out of that? I mean, honestly, because we do hear about human trafficking, and a lot of times it is a situation where somebody's holding somebody you love so that they can get what they want out of the situation or have you go get somebody else. What do you do?
Well, I can't give up all.
Right,
She can't give up the
whole
series.
book. The question
it's a TV series.
Let me ask you this: what made you think about writing something like that?
Again, it was the things that was
something happened to you in your life in the past?
No, it was the things that was happening in the community right here in Atlanta. You know, human trafficking. But the difference in Yellow Cry and just the human trafficking is not just, you know, you going to Europe and trafficking the girls. I'm talking about what's happening right here in our backyard.
Yes.
In this house, in that house, you know, in the basement, and nobody is saying anything. Right. Because we're getting everybody wants to be the next rich person. They want to have this going on. So what would you sacrifice for that?
Sacrifice to get that?
To get that money, to stay on top, to keep up with the Joneses. You know,
that's a good question because everybody has their own little, I guess, definition of what they would do. You know, because I think that I'm always on the grind, but I ain't gonna steal, from somebody else to get it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I definitely ain't gonna get caught stealing. But I'm just saying I'm gonna have to think it through. But if I'm saying when I was younger, I did some few things to try to get ahead.
But
and it wasn't great, but I didn't want to do nothing major, right? I ain't gonna bust in somebody's car or something like that.
But it's funny you mentioned that, Tawanda, because I was just reading an article today, which I think we all know about this whole Jeffrey Epstein case.
Right.
And one of the things he said, which he thought was funny, was that he joked about how people can be bought. Because people would do anything. And what had happened was he ordered 2 12-year-old girls from France. And other people were involved in this transaction. Absolutely. Meaning he called somebody up. This person went and found these girls because the girls were from poor communities and their parents didn't have any money. This person went to the parents, got these 2 12-year-old girls to give them to Jeffrey Epstein. And he joked about it. Look what you can do with money. It's amazing what you can do because people are so desperate for money.
Yeah.
And he found it humorous, but it's not humorous.
It's not humorous
sad.
at all.
It's sad.
It's absolutely sad. When does the dollar bill hold more value than a human life? Than another person's dignity?
Right.
When did that become a thing? Because I remember being taught that there's just some things you don't do for money.
Right.
There's just some things you don't. I was taught that. Where did we go wrong as a society?
Because I got broke.
Greed,
and I'm saying.
But here's the thing, though, Marty. You can say because you got broke. I've been broke. You've been broke.
There's different levels of brokenness.
It is.
That is okay.
Right. I'm saying some people say, "Well, I got $10."
I've lived out of my car. Put it like that. I have lived out of my car before.
You had a car.
No.
That means you had gas money too.
You weren't real broke.
You wasn't real broke.
Okay.
Means you could pay car insurance.
Right. And put some gas in your car.
Right. But I'm saying broke is people that are living under that bridge.
Yeah.
That it's look, I'll do anything, to just have a hot room or a hot meal. Some people, they do crime so they can get locked up so they can have 3 lunches and and a bed to sleep in.
You're right.
It just depends, because you would say I wouldn't,
but you don't know until you're put in that position.
And you remember the movie Set It Off, the character Jada Pinkett played. She did something strange because she wanted her brother to go to college.
Yeah,
and she needed the money.
Right.
And I said, would I do that? I needed some books in school one time.
Okay, on that note, it was so nice talking to you.
I'm saying, I worked at a barbershop and I swept hair. I don't know why your mind always go there. But,
Marty,
when you
because
do
you
things,
said something a long time ago that I'm like, I thought that's where you was going.
Well, that was the next semester. Okay. Books got more expensive than next year. But, hey, never mind. No regrets. I don't count my regrets. But no, when you're in those desperate situations,
You do
you would do things that you normally. I've taken clients, at a lower rate,
Right, absolutely.
because I need the money,
Right.
Absolutely,
Now would I usually do this for $50 or $25? No, but
you needed the money.
You need the money.
So I can't judge. Now, when you start selling your kids, now I'm not in a third world country.
And that's the other thing. Some of these
it's
people,
not third world.
Oh, you said that's right. You said this is over in Decatur.
I'm talking about Indicator, Buckhead, you name it.
Yeah, and that is closer to home because you automatically assume that people in the third world would sell their children. But to say here in this area that you would sell a 12-year-old, but my thing is, wouldn't authorities and people start asking questions about it?
Well, okay, so look at this. So have y'all checked defects? When you check, okay, I guess I better not say that.
No, you can say
defects.
Look, they ain't got your address or nothing. They gonna kick us off.
They're gonna kick us off, not you.
But no, if it's somewhat
when
true.
When I first created this, at the time, nobody was ready. I wasn't getting no green lights. I remember my attorney, he says, that's not the first project that you want to do. It's too serious. It's too deep. They're not going to let you do it. And so now it's right now. All of the stuff that's happening right now. And it's not the type of show that is just like you said, third world. Right. It's about the choices. It's about the Aryan race. It's about different races of human trafficking that we're not used to.
Right.
And people doing stuff that want to change. I want to get rid of this race of people and then this race of people. So they start trafficking. And the children are just the purest there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And like she was talking about the orders. That happens in the series. The orders that's being put out. I need an order of 10 girls or 10 guys. And this,
just like chicken wings almost.
Exactly.
It's like they just put out a pizza order.
And that's what this Epstein guy was saying. You just order. There's people,
order what you want.
Order what you want. There's people that order little boys. There's people that order young girls that are 5'6" and they got red hair. They order.
Right. Now, I know this isn't right or anything, but I know you did a lot of research with this. Do you got that number where you order? I'm just asking. No, I know it ain't right. I'm just curious.
I'm cutting that out.
If I need to tell somebody else what not to do,
Marty,
I'm just curious if you had a number.
Marty, this is a very serious subject.
I told you tomorrow, my birthday.
I'm going to spank you
my
when you
birthday
get
was
off.
last week, but if I could just order.
This is not a joking issue.
It's very
serious. And I'm about to drop kick you on this radio.
You have a son?
No.
No.
I practice
you
on
have
him,
a niece?
Yes.
So what's her name?
I ain't going to put that out there. No.
Okay. So your niece was somebody just had to come to you and say, Marty, look, we are going to kidnap your niece and put her into a human trafficking ring. If you don't help us get Monica's niece. And you got a choice to make.
Yep.
Because you want to save your niece, and then this other person over here.
Hey, Monica's niece, you need to kiss your aunt because you about to go.
And you know how easy that is to say?
It's easy to say.
It's easy to say it until you put into that situation.
All joking aside, there is one of those things where, you don't know.
You don't.
I'm saying if anybody in the situation, that's what they're put in that situation. I'm saying to say this person, life is more valuable than another person's life. I don't believe that anyway.
Right.
I'm saying that's one of those situations that you don't. I'm saying unless I have a gun with me right then.
Right.
I can't do anything. I don't know what I would do.
But here's the thing, though. Even if you have a gun, those people come prepared.
They come prepared.
If either I'm going to go out with the fight, or what do I do?
Right.
I'm saying because apparently I'm already outnumbered. I'm outmoneyed.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What do I supposed to do? Yeah, that's one of those. I guess that's why it's supposed to be a good movie.
So to get into that situation,
because see, I can't ask. Well, what do you do? No, I can't tell you that. That's in the movie.
To get into the situation, normally people target people like she said that's poor. That's got something going. They about to lose something when you're just like on your last leg. Right. And you know what? I know Marty got this going on. He's about to lose his house, his car, everything. He would be a good candidate to be a part of this.
Do you kind of pray for ugly kids? Because people don't really. Do they still?
No, it has nothing to do with looks. The thing with sex trafficking.
No.
Obviously
it's a desire of what another person wants.
If I ordered somebody to order, then at least they need to look attractive, don't you think? I'm saying if I paid a whole lot of money, I'm just asking.
But it's not about looks. When they're trafficking, it's not about look. It's power.
Yeah.
It's just okay. Because I've always thought of trafficking is for sex, mainly.
Well, I mean, sex. You can cover somebody's face and have sex.
They don't care.
You know what? That's true. I've done that.
Yeah,
you're right.
I mean, you do have certain crowds and in certain, and the reason why I know this stuff is because I have daughters,
right?
And so sometimes you somehow get on these parent mailing lists and you read this stuff, but there are groups that want a certain type of girl, and then there's other groups that are just. We need a 14-year-old, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy. Guys, we're going to take a break. We'll pick up on this a little bit more on the next segment, but I'm Doni the Tree Lady.
I am Marty McFly, the guy getting in trouble tonight in the day. So
you're going to be in trouble.
But it's all good. We'll
be right back. Welcome back to Donnie Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady.
And I am that guy, Marty McFly.
And we are here with Tawanda Kilpatrick, and we are having a serious conversation. But you know what? Behind the scenes on the break, Gloria, back here behind the scenes doing our little social media right here, mentioned something that's very true. And the truth of the matter is she was keeping it real. And I think that this is, I guess, a PowerPoint on what does really happen. Right. If it's between your kid and somebody else's, and you're that poor person that wants to save, you're going to go with you're going to save your kid. You're going to save yours.
Right.
And that would have been the honest truth in answering your question. But there's that part of me that wants to be, I want to save the planet. I want to save the world. I want to make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Well, in those situations, you don't have a choice.
Right.
And who's going to believe you if you go to the authorities?
Right.
And then how are you going to get out of the room to go to the authorities?
Right.
You know?
You got to do what you got to do.
So behind the scenes, thank you for that, Gloria.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gloria, for being real. Because they was looking at me like, no, I wouldn't do that. I try to. No, I look, you need to kiss your mama because I'm getting my kid. And I'm sorry, it's going to suck. But
right. So what are some things we can do, especially now that you've done some research on this? What can we do in our city to help with human trafficking?
Look, watch. One example, a little girl riding in a car, and you're at the light, you're on the phone, you're talking to Doni, and this little girl is in the back seat, and she has that look of, please help me, help me. But you're not paying any attention. You're talking to Marty. The light turns you home, 6 o'clock news. Yeah. They looking for that same little girl that was in the back seat of that car looking at you with the help me in her eyes. Yeah. We don't pay attention to the little stuff. We're so busy on social media in our own world, and somebody walking right around us is saying, help me, please. I need help. I'm in trouble. We got to watch. We got to listen. If we see something, I think they have it in Atlanta. If we see something, you got to say something. Because people are in trouble.
And that's and I agree with that. It's just that the way society works is almost dangerous. Because if I'm at a stoplight and I see a little kid in the back seat with that little look on their face, I'm thinking, you just got your little tail whipped, didn't you? I'm saying I'm not gonna get out the car and say, is everything all right? That's not the makeup, but it does make you think, because it's like I've been in a situation some years ago. I was dating a lady who had kids, and we were in the mall, and the little boy was really acting up, and I was just gonna take him outside to kind of scare him in the car or whatever. But I know I'm holding him, trying to bring him out the mall. And he's like, no, yelling and everything. Yeah. I'm like looking around like, look, don't nobody arrest me,
Exactly,
because they could say, okay, he's trying to steal this little kid. Now I beat him some more when I got out there, but. Those are those double edges, because if you see a kid that...
But I'd rather be safe than sorry. I know it will put you in an inconvenient position, but at least we will find out the truth that, hey, no, this kid was, misbehaving, and I'm getting ready to take him out to the car. But we do have to start saying something. I literally had that just happen to me about 4 months ago in Florida. We were on our way to Florida to just run to Disney World, hang out with my girls for a minute, and we stopped in this little small town. And there was a van there that got out with this heavy-set lady and these two really attractive young girls, but they just looked kind of, tattered or whatever, and they had their heads down. And she basically said, I have to go with you. and the guy was getting gas, and he just kind of was rough around the edges or two. But those girls, they just had their head down. I'm like, something's not, like I could feel
it,
something
right.
was
Yes.
not right. And they weren't in like a regular van. They were like in one of those U-Haul vans.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, there was no seats in the back. It was just like the kind that you move with. And I'm like, this isn't right. So I called the police. I got a description of it. I called the police, and they said that little corridor, that Atlanta to Florida corridor, is huge for human trafficking.
You a snitch, huh?
Yes, I am. I absolutely am. Because that could have been my daughter.
That could have been her daughter.
And even thinking about it now, like when you were talking, I got kind of emotional thinking about these girls.
Yes.
You know.
And boys.
And boys.
And
yeah,
boys.
And boys. You know, and something's got to be done. You know.
And I know it's going to sound like a joke, but I'm curious because I heard something over this weekend that I never thought about. Actually came from Key and Peele, you know, the little TV show, because I didn't realize that they were mixed. They both have white mothers. But have you ever scolded your daughter in public, and has anybody ever said anything to you about her, come up to you?
Actually, yeah. I actually had a lady, it wasn't like she thought it was human trafficking. What happened was I don't hit my kids. I've always had a relationship where I talk to them. Well, my daughter was like 10 years old at the time, and she had just done that last thing. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a time that I'm probably going to wind up hitting you. But I try to stay away from that, right? So I just wanted to scare her. So I flicked my phone in the back seat, and it didn't hit her, but it could have hit her if I was aiming. You know, this lady saw this happen. Like I said something to Kylie, and I said, you know what? Stop it. And I mean it right now. And she said something smart, and I flicked my phone back there. And this lady walks up to me. She goes, I'm calling the cops right now. I am calling the cops right now. And I was like, who are you calling the cops on?
Right.
I saw what you did. You hit that child with a phone. That is child abuse. And I'm like, first of all, that's my kid, and it didn't hit her.
Right.
You know, and I was like, if you want to call the cops, you need to call them right now.
Now you know, I'm curious.
What?
Was it a person of color that came up to you?
You know what? I'm done with you, Marty.
No,
Marty,
it's not about that. But because a person of color would probably just looked at you like, you disciplining your child or a child. But if you saw a person of non-color seeing a person of color throwing a phone at a child of non-color.
My baby's of color, though.
She got a splash of color.
Yeah, my baby.
She just got a splash. You know, no, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that.
My kids are biracial. They're black.
But the lady that came
My babies are
up
black.
there and saw you throwing something at a real high past yellow child, is like, no, I'm gonna call the cops on you. Because I promise you, if it was
she was dialing the number. I said, why don't you take a picture of me? You could take a picture of my license plate, but I'm leaving.
Right. But that was the same thing that
Wow.
Key and Peele was saying. He was saying that he realized that his mother couldn't spank him in public, you know, because he had a white mother and he's a dark-skinned brown child.
Gotcha.
And they say just because the
optics,
the way people view that, you are a different color. You do not have the right to hit that child, you know. And this is one of those like, huh? That's what I wanted to ask
well,
you.
see,
And you
that
said
didn't go through my mind.
Right, and you said the one thing
Right.
I just threw a phone at the girl, and somebody out the blue came up to your car.
Yeah,
I'm going to call the cops.
Yeah,
see, that shows two things. You don't live in my neighborhood.
You know,
because my neighbor, they gonna come up to the car while you upset. No, they ain't gonna do that. You know, they ain't gonna call the cops.
Yeah, she stood in front of my car, like acting like she was gonna block me in, like standing there. And I was like, I will run you over.
But she was looking out for the child.
But here's the other thing: she was looking out for the kid.
child.
But I didn't hit my kid. I threw it to get her attention to stop what she was doing.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, it's just one of
I
those
don't know how this has anything to do with Tawanda.
Tawanda,
I'm glad that we're bringing all this out.
I'm always honored that you're here because you excite, you know, you give us thought-provoking, you know, thoughts and everything, especially about your plays and, you know, the motivation that you, I guess the approach that you go. Did you do a lot of research? Did you actually talk to anybody that had been in the trafficking?
Yes, absolutely.
How were their communication? Because sometimes I'm like, if it's in the third world, it's hard to kind of get back to the States. But if you got kidnapped in Decatur, you should be able to get back to Atlanta. You know, somehow or another. I'm just call me crazy.
Marty, I promise you. I'm gonna pray for you.
This show just went off the rails, y'all.
I'm going to pray for you.
It's a thought, you know.
No, actually, one of the girls, she she is American, and she was trafficked here in the U.S.
Okay.
Right
So it's not like they'll take her from Decatur and then they'll work in Atlanta or work in College Park.
No,
so
they could take her from Texas and bring her here to Atlanta and then to Louisiana, just kind of, take her from state to state.
Especially around the airport because they do a lot of trafficking around there.
Mm-hmm. And the bus station. The
bus station, the truck stops.
But Tawanda, before we wrap things up, because you are inspirational, and there are people, especially in this area, that are artists and people that have dreams and aspirations. What's some advice you can give to somebody that has a dream and want to see it come to fruition the way you did?
Don't give up. Keep at it, even when it looks like it's not going to happen. Find a way to make it happen, and so that you don't waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'm finna go get this person. Find a way on your own how you can make it happen, and then you can start to attach into other people. Because everybody's trying to get their dream done. Yeah. But if you can just find a way to make your dream happen and just keep at it, you might have to start small and then let it grow. But whatever you do, don't give up on it. Because especially if it's your gift will make room for you.
I love that. Yes. Your gift will make a way.
Yes, absolutely.
And once again, how do we get in contact with you, Tawanda?
unselfishwomen.com and unselfishwomen, www.unselfishwomen.com and Tawanda@Tawanda.com.
And Instagram?
Unselfish Women.
Beat us up over here.
Instagram is Unselfish Women. I know Gloria can't wait. She's going to put it on my hand the next time.
That's all right. Well, we're like I said, we're so honored that you're here. We really are.
Thank you.
I'll ask the next time you have something going on. And actually, when we get a little bit closer to that reveal date, will you come back and talk with us a little bit?
Absolutely.
And your next project, I want to at least audition for something.
Okay,
all
gotcha.
Right? Something. I don't care if it's just,
I just might have to write a character for you because you got a lot of.
He's amazing.
Layers to you.
We can do that. Just
Isn't he
write
amazing?
me in.
Yes, he is.
You're listening to Donnie Jones Live. I'm Marty McFly.
I'm gonna hurt him.
We just gonna keep it going. I don't know how to respond.
That's okay. But once again, guys, I'm Donnie the Tree Lady.
I am Marty McFly.
And this is Donnie Jones Live.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.